Okay.
আমি
তোমাকে
তোমাকে
ভালো
hello
বাসি
বাসি
সেকেন্ড আমি
আমি তোমাকে
ভালো
ভালোবাসি
that's it that's enough
Wow, the phrase is a little bit long.
try to say again
আমি তোমাকে আমি বাসি something like this.
ভালোবাসি
ভালোবাসি
second well done
আমি তোমাকে ভালোবাসি
that's great
Oh my god Guys, you make a guess on where I've enjoyed this delicious piece of cake. Well, it's a shop right behind me, and this place is actually in Old Dhaka. Well, I'm gonna bring you to explore how the Old Dhaka is like during the al-Adha festival. You may see that there are quite a number of shops are closed, but is there really nothing to see? Let's find out. Look at behind me. This side may be a bit scary to some of my viewers. So what happened is that after the culling of the carcasses and actually for the skin that they actually lay on the road to dry. Well, I think this is one of the process of making the leather. You can also see a bit of blood on the road, so you just got to be very careful when you walk. Okay guys, you are hearing right now basically the noon prayers.
Bangladesh Lalbagh Fort yay
Yay! You are hearing right now the you are right now here.
How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. I'm Bangladesh.
Nice. Okay. Basically, you are hearing the noontime prayers from a mosque. Okay, as I'm walking around the Old Dhaka, left is what we call the Lalbagh Fort. So I'm wondering whether it is open. So I'm praying hard that it actually is open. So they actually, I heard it's a very big place. So I'm curious to see how is it like. Hey guys, made it into the Lalbagh Fort. So you can see that this ticket has already been used, and I want to highlight to you that okay, for the foreigners you have to pay 400 Bangladeshi Dhaka. So to convert from Bangladeshi Dhaka to Singapore dollars, as estimate is to divide by 100, about 4 Singapore dollars. But to locals, that they just need to pay 30 Bangladeshi Dhaka. Let's explore this beautiful garden as I explain to you the history of this. Looking around me, you can see that the buildings are having a red, pink colors. So this is where the term Lalbagh actually comes from. Well, it seems that whenever I am here and I'm kind of being mobbed by their locals over here. But not to worry that the locals here are generally friendly. So admittedly, although I am actually anxious, especially because it's my first time on Bangladesh soil, but don't worry, usually these people, the locals are friendly, and the thing what they want to do is like they will want to say, okay, my WhatsApp, my Instagram account, pretty much looking forward to this. Okay, so maybe can you like maybe explain to me like in Bengali about okay what's the history of this place, if you can, in Bengali. There. You look at this trench right in front of me. It's a very deep one. I'm guessing is this like a burial site? You see this whole place is actually covered with grass. But you also can see that almost everywhere in the place that there are very beautiful plants and greenery over here.
And here we comes a lot of peoples. And very beautiful. Look around. It's very big.
Wow. So actually, I just see that behind there is a very, very deep hole or trench. I'm not sure what's that actually. Behind you, just right behind us. What is that?
This is kind of pool, but there's no water because it's dry. This is month of June.
Oh, I see. Last time it used to be a pool, but eventually it's very hot. A lot of water evaporate. Now a lot of the grass take over. Wow. So actually there is this building that is very popular. I think one of the locals recommended. Okay, maybe you can share.
Museum, historical museum.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of things they are shoot here, and now is a very popular.
Okay.
That's it.
Yes. Pretty much looking forward
Actually,
to what
I'm
is
not
ahead.
Very good. That's why I couldn't explain you everything.
No worries. Basic English also good.
No.
Yeah,
Not as
basic
good as you.
basic English is good. Yeah, I mean, as in like at least I know something.
Oh.
Yes, because it's my first time here.
Do you know Bangla something?
Only Bangladesh.
No word. No word.
Zero. Only Bangladesh. That I
Only
know.
Bangladesh. You don't know I love you in Bangladesh?
No. How do you say in Bangladesh? In Bangla.
Let's say together.
Okay.
Ami
Tomake.
bhalo
Hello.
bashi.
Bashi.
Say again. Ami
Tomake.
bhalo
Bashi.
That's it. That's enough.
Wow, the phrase is a little bit long.
Try to say again.
Ami Tomake. Ami Bashi. Something like this.
Bhalo bashi.
Hello Bashi.
Say again. Well done.
Ami Tomake. Hello Bashi.
That's great.
Oh my god! Guys, the significance of this fort is that basically that it is a very important place of the Mughal dynasty in Bangladesh.
We are say here. Come on.
Come on. Well, behind me is actually a gun. So right now so what they do is actually the US tried to do the preservation works of this fort together with the local government Bangladesh. So you can actually see what is the wordings on the sign all about. Yeah. So conservation is progress and is unveiled just only 2 years ago. I'm wondering what's this all about. Is this like a network of tunnels like going to the, let's say, the official residence? Seems like it. Look at these guys, that they are very, very happy. They're getting me. They are all mobbing me, basically. So when I go off and they are like, oh, where am I? They are just so excited to see me.
A lot of gamers played there, and Bangladesh are very, very good in this field.
Yes.
Last game we are defeat
Bhutan 2-0.
Yes.
Is this like a very long time since you come back to the national stadium to host the international matches? Because I did a quick Google search and I see that in the World Cup qualifiers that you cannot play at the national stadium. You have to go to some
Yes, there's
stadium.
one gap. For game played in the Bangabandhu National Stadium.
Oh.
Then and our team will look very good because Hamza Chaudhary and a lot of players come here to join, and very strong team now.
Very strong.
We can defeat Singapore now.
I'm not surprised, but I'm also very, very nervous as a Singapore fan. We are scared. We are scared of the Hamza Chaudhary. We are scared of the.
No, he's very good. He's very good. He's very international player.
Yeah.
He's playing already.
But don't forget, guys. But don't forget, we do have our own players as well.
That's right. Your team is very good as always. But we are now trying to get a lot of high quality player and team building a good result.
It's same thing for us. We will fight. We are fighting. Yeah. For the Asia Cup spots. Yeah.
Yes. And we pray Singapore and Bangladesh will play FIFA one day.
Yep. Okay, guys. One of the locals just pulled me over here. It reads as follows: the grave of Khoda Bang, who is a trusted lieutenant of the Shashita Khan. Both side grave of unknown. Oh. So is he like a very, very famous person in Bangladesh. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about him. Like, if you know a little bit, English is good. Okay. Behind me is what we call it as a masjid. So a masjid is in Singaporean terms is also called a mosque. It's where the Muslims congregate to pray. You can see those masjids all around Dhaka, Bangladesh, because the vast majority, the religion is Islam in Bangladesh. It's a de facto religion over here. Okay, so I appreciate these guys, these locals, like taking me through the Lalbagh Fort. So right now these guys are going off soon. So really, thank you for the time. Thank you for taking me. So yeah, see you guys. Yeah, guys, behind me the very beautiful scenery from an altitude. So you can actually see that I had to navigate a very steep slope up, and we have to be a little bit careful when coming up here. So basically what is here is that you can see not only a pavement, and you can see a grass field. There you can see the children very happily playing along. I feel that this is actually a very, very cool recreational area, and it's very rewarding. People taking photos of that beautiful place. Well, there are even people in the flats notice my presence over here. He just now shouted, okay, hi, how are you? The kind of things. Well, you can actually see the remnants of the Lalbagh Fort. Okay, so obviously that it has went through like some years of erosion, especially you look at the walls over here. So, but definitely it does tell some history on how this empire must be like guarded very well as it grows in influence in Dhaka at the point of time. Okay, so back to the Old Dhaka. You can actually see the hawker selling a champi duck over here. You can also see the hawker selling the coconuts. Okay, and even the food stalls like kebab is still being open. Though you can see that most of the shops are closed. Hey guys, the traffic is too messy. So right now I'm deciding to board a rickshaw. It's actually very similar to the tuk-tuk, which is like some taxi in Thailand. But right now when I'm boarding this rickshaw, I'm going to the place called the Shaori Ghat as I explore the Old Dhaka. Very scared that I'll get knocked down by the vehicles. And actually I'm enjoying taking this rickshaw. You're hearing a lot of honks. It's a nightmare really navigating traffic in Dhaka. You can see how messy the traffic is in Dhaka. On both sides, most of the shops they are still closed. But generally speaking, they are not related to food items. Guys, our next destination is Shaori Ghat. Basically, it's a pier which has boats crossing the river from one bank to the other. Guys, these are the things that you can also expect to see at the Old Dhaka, besides just selling food. They are also like selling porcelain over here. You can hear a lot of honks again. There are also eateries like that. The road that we are going on very bumpy. Have to sit tight. This place that you see behind me is called the Buriganga River, and specifically the port that we are at is called Shaori Ghat. So basically, you can see that there are a lot of boats traveling from one end of the bank all the way to the other end of the bank. You can also see there's some floating plants on top of the river. You can also see that there is a vessel, I believe, containing passengers and cars, transporting from this end to the other end of the bank. So pretty much excited to try it out. Guys, right now I'm at a small boat, or the equivalent sampan. So I'm crossing this river bank from the Shaori Ghat, and we are going all the way to the Zinzira Ghat. Okay. So actually you can see that the driver, the rower is actually right behind me. Okay. So pretty much I'm just going to enjoy through the whole process. Guys, the way how this boat works is actually pretty manual. So you can see that the rowing part is need to use a lot of muscles in your hand. Pretty reminds me of a dragon boat. Dragon boat which like everybody need to coordinate, play their part. And we are cutting through the plants. They are floating on top of this river. Guys, right now we are at the Zinzira ferry ghat. So the roads, the rickshaws reminds me of the very old times of transport, pretty ancient times. I should say that it's about at least a generation ago. Equivalently, it reminds me of the Pulau Ubin in Singapore. Feeling relaxed with dogs roaming around. Behind me, you can actually see the residential areas. So typically over here, the people when they stay here, they basically also sell goods for a living. It can be as simple as snacks, fried snacks, which I will show you soon. So actually, this is one of the snacks that they actually sell. Maybe like fried biscuits or fried pastries. They also do sell inside, for example, like the fruits, champidak, mango, different kind, and bananas, oranges also. The market itself, I'm also very scared when navigating. For example, because of the way how they deal with the carcasses. Okay, as part of sacrificing the animals and distributing the meat, it's quite scary for me when I see it firsthand. But there is always things to do, and I'm actually fortunate to see that, for example, the pastries, the cake shop is open. Hey guys, this is a very important place for Bangladesh. This is a very important place for Bangladesh Railways. We are right now at the Dhaka railway station as we begin our tour of the capital city of Dhaka. The trains behind me, they are actually long distance trains. They can actually go to other main cities in Bangladesh, for example like Chittagong, Silvet, etc. From this point, we'll actually be introducing to you the features in the capital city of Dhaka. Without further ado, let's explore. In front of me, you can also see that the hawker, they are selling the snacks, for example, like potato chips. People already like boarding in the train, waiting for the departure of the train to maybe some other cities. It's not surprising that there are many people here, because anyway, now it's still the Eid Festival. The Eid Festival actually lasts until 10 June this year. As I see the endings of the railways over here, it reminds me of the Tanjong Pagar railway station back in Singapore in the past, about 15 years ago or so. So at the point of time, the Malayan Railways is still in operation, and it actually terminates at the Tanjong Pagar railway station, and the end of railway looks something similar to this. Brings me back a bit of a nostalgia here. There is a facility in front of me where you can see actually the Muslims doing their noontime prayers. So you notice in the direction is the direction of Mecca. A notable feature about this station is actually opened way back in 1968, which is why you can see that the infrastructure is a little bit dated. Notably, there are also altogether 8 platforms, 7 of them for passenger use. I believe one of them is for cargo use. Guys, you will not believe it. Perhaps in around 2030, that you'll see this place become a multimodal interchange. Not only we have the existing Bangladesh Railway, we also have a metro station behind me. We also have the Dhaka Highway. We will also even have a high-speed rail connecting Dhaka and Chittagong. Can't believe it. there is a unique feature behind me. As I observe in the streets of Dhaka, somehow it doesn't seem to have any traffic light on the roads. If not, the traffic light is there, but it's not working. This means to say, whenever it comes to the junctions or the circles, the drivers must self-regulate them by navigating the junctions very carefully. So that's why you can see a little bit of a Shibuya crossing style behind me. I feel very scared crossing a road, but the most important thing is as long as you're careful, you should be fine, so don't worry too much about it. When you see these buses right behind me, they do belong to the travel agency companies. Well, these are actually long-haul buses that go to various cities of Bangladesh from Dhaka. That's pretty cool to know. This station right behind me is actually part of the Dhaka Metro line 6. By the way, this is actually the first line that opened in the Dhaka Metro system. It opened in 2023, which is just very recently. How's the Dhaka Metro experience like? Let's find out. The map behind me basically showing where the metro line stations are and how much you have to pay. Given that you are right now in a Moiju station. So as of now, this is a terminal station, and traveling to the other terminal called Uttara North actually costs about 100 Dhaka, which is actually very similar to slightly over $1 Singapore. You can only pay by cash. So if you do not have cash on hand, don't worry. There is a bank which you can actually draw money. Okay, then you can use cash to purchase. Then this is actually a ticket that I'll get. You have to retain until the end of the journey. Guys, the train has already arrived at the station. One important thing to take note when you're taking the Dhaka Metro, the first coach is only for ladies. So there are altogether 6 coaches. The first coach is defined as the frontmost carriage based on the direction the train is traveling. So when it comes to the terminal station, well, when the train came here, this is actually for the women's coach only. Now, both men and women can use this. Let's board in the metro and enjoy the ride all the way to Uttara North. Guys, it took me about 33 minutes to take the whole metro line from Montreal to the where am I right now, the Uttara North. So basically, I just want to share with you that the Uttara North, the scenery is very different from what I see at the Dhaka city center. Guys, surrounding the terminal station of Uttara North, it is still apparently a developing place. But you can also see that there are quite a few stores, I think mainly selling their local delicacies. And as usual, you can actually see the rickshaws behind me waiting to send those passengers to various places, Dhaka, I suppose. You can see these are the stores right in front of me. They are actually mostly selling food, but you can also see there's one store actually selling the clothing. So what kinds of food are actually being sold? Basically street food. For example, like the fried stuff, burger, chicken, etc. This store actually sells something unique. So they do sell the Chinese food, for example, like the egg fried rice, chow mein, and not just Chinese food, they also do sell pizzas. So this is pretty much a convenient food store over here. This station is pretty unique. Well, if you look at the Bengali sign, okay, it's actually read as Uttara Uttar, just missing the one letter A for the second Bengali word. So the word Uttar actually means north. So the way how they name this station is actually pretty cute. Uttara Uttar. So it helps me to learn one new vocabulary from Bengali over here. You guys can actually see the hawkers. They just recently set up over here. For example, selling coconuts. And you know what is the most cool thing ever over here? This is actually a food court. There are numerous stores are being set up over here. At the end of this food court, there's actually a swing over here for people to chill. And there's even a banner saying, okay, this is recognized for the past some hygiene standard, I guess. Pretty much a selling point over here. This place behind me basically is a Bashundara shopping complex. A notable thing, which I find it very interesting, basically there is a Mustafa Mart located in this mall. Well, it reminds me of the Mustafa Mart at the Little India there. So let's explore to see how is it like. As you can see, the vast majority of the shops are actually closed because of the Eid festival. But why there are still people here is because of the Some Togi Fun World. Over here, the counter is still open, and it's a good occasion for the parents to bring the kids here to play. Guys, this is level 8 of the mall, and when most of the shops are actually being closed, what is open is actually the cinema behind. So apparently there are those shows going on, and many people they come here to watch the movies and thereafter maybe have some snacks and drinks. So this is actually pretty much a cool activity for the bonding between friends, family, etc. In front of me, some guy getting interviewed by the media. Pretty cool thing. This is a very cool sight, as you can see that the people are actually ordering the salad bar. But I also do see some chow mein, one of the customers. Beside the cinema that's open, there's actually also a place where the kids can enjoy, maybe jumping up and down on a sunny day. Some reason it's from level 9 all the way to level 18, where this is level 8. You can see that there's a ticket counter here for that purpose. My guess, is it the same as the one as the level 1? Maybe. Guys, so for today that unfortunately Mustafa is also closed. See whether if I come after the Eid holiday ends, see whether it open or not. Just want to show you what is the daily life and how's the daily traffic like in Dhaka. You can see that there are relatively very few cars and buses. But what you can see a lot, right, is basically you can see a lot of rickshaws. Whether it's auto or whether it's a compressed natural gas type. So these people, they do the rickshaws for their living. So personally, I've tried the rickshaw before. And basically, one trip, maybe a short one about 2 or 3 kilometers, can cost about 200 Bangladeshi Taka. When compared to Singapore dollars, about 20 cents. It's also common to see in the Dhaka streets that there are various hawker stores being set up. This is actually very, very similar to the night markets or the pasar malam in Singapore. Just that in Dhaka it's like free and easy, it's like almost everywhere alongside of the road. The items they sell, they are varied, but generally they are mostly on the street food and drinks. So you can see, for example, they can even sell basic things like water, the bread you can see behind me. They can just set up a store from somewhere. Hey guys, wanted to enter the Dhaka City Museum, but I just heard from the guards that okay, on today itself is basically ops day because of the clash between Bangladesh and Singapore. Therefore, it's closed off to public, and it will only reopen the public on the 15th June. So well, let's have alternative plans. It is also common to see in Dhaka, the road junctions, that they will tend to place a statue behind. So this statue behind me is actually what I call it as a circle of hope. From the way how the statue is like, it's very likely talking about the liberation and also hope for a better economic development or better lifestyle, I suppose. Guys, I've arrived at the Bangladesh National Museum. So actually it's already around 11 AM local time, and the ticket sales supposed to open 10:30 local time. We're just waiting for when the ticket booth behind will actually open. I think there's some people also waiting. Again, due to the Eid holiday, this museum is closed until this Thursday, and will reopen on a Friday, 13 June. So what a bit of waste here. Finally, I've reached an attraction that is finally open. This place is called Ramna Park. So behind me, you can actually see that there is a lake, and apparently the weather is so hot until I see there are 2 kids going down the lake to swim. Not exactly a swim, but at least to cool themselves in the lake. Well, you can see behind me that there's someone actually paddling on the boat that on the face looks like a cat, I suppose. So this is actually one of the engineer's ideas to maybe for recreation purposes, and can see that the pair behind me, they are enjoying themselves. But although it'll be interesting to find where this thingy comes from. You can also see there are a couple of stray dogs roaming around freely in this park. Well, we have to be careful not to get bitten by these dogs. So behind me is where the park visitors actually can try on like these uniquely designed boats for recreation purposes, can sail along the lake. Must be a pretty much a refreshing experience, especially given a crazy heat in Dhaka. You can also see the impromptu store in front of me selling some fruits, I suppose, blueberries. And then crossing over this bridge, you can see playground. A pretty much chill place to walk along. You can see that there's also a hawker in front of me. Like he has this many water bottle filled with water placed on top of his head while he sells the chilled water to the park visitors. So well, you can see that there are quite a few people who are also selling water. Yeah, hello. And look at these dogs in front of me. It's pretty cute as they bond with each other. Behind me being the memorial plaque, and that is something relating to those people in the University of Dhaka, I suppose, fighting for the independence of Bangladesh. So there are quite a number of people, and you can involve in the war, liberation war, I suppose, and there are many people. That's why you see many plaques behind. The place that I'm at just before the Dhaka New Market is called the Naked Book Market. You can see that there are hawkers are actually selling stacks of books, many books for sale. And there's actually one thing that captures my attention. Hello. There's one thing that captures my attention. Basically, I see there is a O level, A level. Well, in Singapore we also do have O level and A level, and pretty surprised I see here got O level, A level also. I also do see the Cambridge brand being printed on those assessment books here. In between the bookstores, you can also see that there are quite a number of hawker stores selling the local delicacies. The local delicacies basically is distinctive of its spices in its food. Across the road on my right, and when I come here, it's actually what I call the Dhaka New Market. So the Dhaka New Market is basically an open air concept, basically selling the garments, wallets, clothing, etc. It's pretty cool that this store behind me is actually selling the football jerseys. Can range from the Bangladesh jerseys to the Real Madrid, etc. The main gate of the Dhaka New Market, unfortunately, is closed. So actually, when I see the castle gates, and they also do sell interesting things like jewelry, so I'm wondering beyond the jewelry, what other items that they sell. So now I'm just seeing rows and rows of clothing. And it's also common to see a store selling sugarcane right in open air. Now, as we come to this place, it's even more happening. We don't just see any roadside stores. Now I can even see a building full of shops, especially selling the leathers, make goods, for example, like bags. These are the spices and the condiments that you can see that actually selling in the store. For example, things like peppers. There's also a fruit store over here. And for example, the household appliances can actually be seen right in front of me. But I guess supposed to eat festival, and that's why you see a lot of stores are closed. Generally, what I feel about Dhaka is it's actually a city that is actually full of library over here. Even during the Eid festival, when we expect most of the shops to be closed. So basically, I just find that the people here are outgoing. They are actually friendly and very curious when they see a foreigner like myself coming to the country. I also like their hospitality. Basically, I just feel that this city doesn't really hide much, but rather it shows as much of its vibe to the public as much as possible. So this is what makes my visit to the Dhaka memorable, and this is especially for my first time. It has a colorful array of culture over here, and actually, so don't worry too much when for foreigners who want to visit Dhaka over here. Do remember to share, like, subscribe my YouTube channel so that you won't miss any important updates. Well, my next adventure will be home or away. I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye bye.